President Trump is going to make America strong.
All right, guys, we're going to get right into it, man. We have your boy Ben Shapiro here, man. Ben Shapiro, the lying little rat of the Daily Wire, making some bold claims. And I want you guys to pay attention to how this guy is an instigator and a liar, because this isn't something that Trump would say, right? So he's claiming that Trump. Let's play the clip here, man. Let's play the clip first, and then y'all can soak this in.
There is foreign policy. President Trump is going to make America strong in the world again. I had President Trump on a couple of weeks before the election on my show, and we were talking about foreign policy. And he said that his foreign policy is pretty obviously peace through strength, pretty clearly. And I'll tell you what he meant by that in a moment. But he summed it up pretty well in a story. So I threw a fundraiser for President Trump down at Trump Doral in Florida fairly early on in the election cycle. And he and I had a chance to chat. And he was talking about Joe Biden. Now, I don't mean to spoiler alert here. President Trump does not like Joe Biden. Just going to put that out there. He thinks he's not just a bad president, that he's not a particularly wonderful, although I will say I think that Joe Biden probably voted for Donald Trump. And by the way, I know that Jill Biden voted for Donald Trump. There is no question. You see them hanging out, there is no question she voted for Donald Trump. Okay, but what President Trump said, we were talking about foreign policy, and the war in Ukraine came up. And he said, Ben, you want to know why Vladimir never invaded Ukraine when I was president? You want to know? And I said, yes, Mr. President. And he said, well, because I talked to Vladimir. I said, Vlad, if you go into Ukraine, I'm going to bomb the shit out of you. And President Trump continued the story. He said, and Vladimir said back to me, no, you won't, Mr. President. And I said, well, I might. And then President Trump said, quite correctly, if there is a 5% chance that that is going to happen, you don't do the thing. This is the thing that President Trump knows, because he is a man who is credible on foreign policy. He's not like our current dead president. Usually, maybe he'll end up on a dollar bill or something, because usually you actually have to be actually dead to get on a dollar bill. Joe Biden has been dead for a while, so he might make it onto a dollar at some point. In any case, our currently dead president says things like don't, and then the rest of the world just does. Right? Meanwhile, President Trump says that, and the rest of the world goes, ooh, I don't know. This could get ugly. When we talk about President Trump's foreign policy, it is not isolationism. He believes in an America-first foreign policy. And here's what I think that he means, pretty clearly from his foreign policy in his first term. He means three things. One, America's interests are first. Now, this should be obvious. America's interests are paramount, obviously. This should be a truism. American citizens come first, right? We're American.
Okay, two things about this clown, bro. First off, he started the whole speech about, he emphasized foreign policy, essentially, and he doesn't want to make the topic primarily about what he really wants to talk about, and that's simply Israel, because we know he's probably the most prominent American journalist, or whatever the hell he is, podcaster, supporter of Israel that we could think of, right? So his whole concern with Trump is that he might be the guy who's gonna back Israel in whatever actions they want to take in the Middle East, right? He doesn't care. He didn't even give a smidget of a fuck what's going on in Russia or Ukraine, where millions of people have already died. And we know that Trump doesn't have a hostile tone when it comes to Putin at all. We've never seen Trump have a hostile tone with Putin to the point where people assume that he collaborates with Putin, or he takes that's where the whole Russia what was it called, the Russia Gate or whatever the fuck it is, the scam that the Clinton administration created, right? We know that he doesn't have a hostile tone towards Putin. What Shapiro really wants to say is that Trump is his foreign policy is amazing. He's gonna allow Israel to reign hell, because we know he's Israel first. Let's be all the way fucking frank here. Okay, the past year and a half, this guy has been literally just screaming and crying about Israel, and advocating for the ongoing genocide that's occurring in Gaza. that's being now it's like covered up with this whole Syria bullshit that was orchestrated by the same individuals, the Muslim Brotherhood, who are the CIA-backed terrorist organizations who are literally created to destabilize the entire region and not have a sovereign state like Syria, which could be a threat to the American hegemony in the Middle East. Hence, the Soviet Union, fills the gap in. So that's the whole game here, man. So Shapiro is a clown. In fact, Putin has even said that he's made some, and you guys got to understand, guys. Putin is a smart, conniving little fucker, man. This guy, I don't even know why I call him a little fucker. Like, no, dude, to all respect to this guy, man, because he's really fighting for his country, man. He's really fighting for it because they forced him into this war. And this is the clip here. Let's take a look at it here.
Mistakes, but from the outset, I can tell you that his behavior when there was an attempt on his life, I was impressed. He's a courageous person. And it's not just about the hand he raised and his call to fight for their common values and ideals. Of course, there was a rush of adrenaline, but a person shows their true color in these emergencies. And this is precisely one of those cases, and I think he acquitted himself admirably in a valiant fashion as a man. As far as politics is concerned, I don't know, during his first presidency, I don't know whether he's going to hear that, but I think I'm going to say that regardless. I think he was harassed by everyone on all sides, bullied. He was afraid of making a step to the left or to the right, saying the wrong thing. I don't know.
Okay, by the way, and you guys see how Putin's his hands are folded. He's leaning in there. You got to understand, guys. When it comes to Russian culture, Eastern Orthodox or Eastern European culture, and I've noticed this a lot. Sometimes I'll talk to some of them, and they talk in a very sarcastic tone. He's being absolutely sarcastic. He doesn't give a rat's ass, nor thinks Trump is any type of courageous man or hero. He doesn't give a shit about Trump. Okay, to be honest with you guys, he's probably being trained by a lot of these people, like these psychoanalysts and these people that are giving him advice on how to approach certain situations or what kind of tone to have with different world leaders. And he's totally bullshitting with Trump, bro. Putin doesn't give a, because he knows overall we've been such a hostile nation towards Russia, okay, that he's not worried about Trump coming in. He doesn't champion Trump at all. And the way he's talking in his body language is pretty much showing you that he's being sarcastic, but overall, Trump, and he's playing to Trump's weaknesses, where pretty much people that embolden his ego, he likes. That's who Trump is. If you like him, he fucking loves you, right? And we've seen that in several different cases, where people, and that's how he is. He's an egotistical individual, right? And to his benefit, he's become a billionaire, and that's what comes with guys like businessmen like him. So Putin's really psychologically playing to Trump's weakness, right? To boost to give him like an ego boost, because Trump looks up to Putin, right? Come on, man. We've seen Trump looks up. Trump wants to be Putin. Trump adores Putin. He wants to rule America with an iron fist. That's his fucking dream, right? But Putin has Trump figured out. He knows who Trump is. He knows that the establishment, the deep state, right, will the same individuals who Putin's at war with will either, force him to either stand in line or take him out. That's just the reality, right? So we're looking at two different scenarios. You either do what we say or we JFK you.